Well, it seems that nighttime in Arma Reforger is really quite the center of contention right now. It should be an element of the game where the pace should feel slow, where communication becomes extremely critical, and the world around you should feel like a looming threat. In Arma Reforger, night is supposed to be not only a gameplay mechanic, but an experience. I just want to take a quick moment to thank our channel members for supporting the channel. A huge thank you to Meg Lemon, Master Shredder, Coffee Bean the Husky, Alton, Neb, and Parko Lambert. If you guys would like to help support the channel, why not consider joining for as little as 99 cents USD a month. Anyway, with that being said, let's get back into the video. With the addition of what can only be described as one of the most hated features in the 1.6 update, maybe in Arma Reforger history, the film grain filter has made a return. This single feature, for me, really strays away from that experience and produces what I can only describe as an outright mess. The inclusion of the nighttime filter, in my opinion, is simply wrong. And look, I understand that the intention behind this was supposed to be good. A system that would help deal with noxious gamma abusers, which I'm all for, but this isn't it. So real quick, if you don't know what gamma abusers are, let me just explain to you what they are and why they are such a problem. Gamma abusers are players who will modify their brightness and or gamma settings in some software or hardware such as their monitors, which gives them the unfair advantage to see a lot more during the nighttime period when most others are operating in near complete darkness, creating this unfair balance for the player base. This has always been something that has always seemingly been a problem in the Arma series. I'm just going to tell you now, this film grain edition doesn't prevent gamma abuse at all. It genuinely makes the entire game look worse for everybody, and that completely just undermines Arma Reforger's quality and fidelity. Even if you're playing normally, the screen now looks like it's just being viewed through a fog of static. I found myself actually trying to alleviate this horrid filter by trying to adjust my monitor settings to give me some form of relief, which is something I've actually never had to do in the history of me owning a computer. Now, it's not to say that there has been some solutions put out there like server parameters that can be executed to simply remove the filter altogether, but still would allow gamma abusers to do their thing. But what if I told you that there was a better way? Something that actually solves the exploit instead of punishing everybody for it. Something where we aren't suffering from a constant analog of horrors, and where we can also have a high fidelity nighttime experience that complements Arma Reforger and not subtracts from it. I do just want to say a quick thanks to my wonderful friends Uncuepa, who came up with this idea for DayZ quite some time ago and applied that same thinking to Arma Reforger, and to TheChunkyMunk, who was able to fire up a prototype of this solution in literally a matter of 25 minutes. So the solution to all this: shadow clamping. Now, I bet you're saying, what the hell is shadow clamping? Look, I didn't know what it was either, but now I do, so let me explain it to you real quick. Shadow clamping is something that makes shadows pure black, rather than shading the area darker like normal. If shadows are of a true black, there is no detail to be gained by gamma boosting. Things in the light are in light, and things within the shadows are left black, leveling the playing field for everyone. And that's what this mod does. After some discussion between ourselves, we all came to the conclusion that if the developers did take this route, they could improve it immensely. Something way beyond what was just whipped up in a matter of minutes in Workbench. And here's why. Bohemia obviously has access to all their tools for the Infusion engine, access to the rendering pipeline, as well as access to the shader layers, for example, whereas modders simply just can't access that kind of thing. If they did, they could go out of their way to make this feature a night-only effect, similar to the grain filter we already have, so it doesn't affect gameplay outside of the nighttime period, if that was of any concern. To put it simply, they can do this properly, cleaner, faster, and more consistently than any mod or workaround ever could. If you want to try this mod for yourself, you can find the link to it down in the description below. I'd love for you guys to check it out and to give as much feedback as possible. In saying all of this, I do hope this is something that the developers seriously consider. Not because what they've done is wrong, but because they could actually just do it so much better. They have the tools, the control, and the technical reach to solve this issue at the source rather than covering it up with just a crummy noise filter. Anyway, rant over. Let me know what you guys think of the grain filter. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you think maybe the shadow clamping is the best solution? Why don't you leave your thoughts down below? I'd love to see what you have to say. And I guess with all that being said, I will see you guys out there on the battlefield.